You won't believe how these 70s action heroes look today. Some have aged like fine wine, others are nearly unrecognizable. In this video, you'll see a recent photo of each star and get just 5 seconds to guess who they are. Then we'll reveal their legendary action hero look from the 70s. Keep track of your score and let us know how many you got right in the comments. Think you're up for the challenge? Let's find out. Starring in Dirty Harry and its sequels, Clint Eastwood was the perfect tough guy in the 1970s. Cut ahead to 2025. At 91, he made history helming Cry Macho and acting in it. Still a Hollywood icon, he demonstrates tenacity, ability, and charisma, never aging. Michael Caine added charm and grit to movies like Get Carter and Sleuth in the 1970s. He became a British celebrity because of his calm attitude and melodic voice. Though he technically retired in 2023, decades of amazing parts helped to preserve his legacy. Still adored, Caine is remembered for his work in both British and worldwide film. Dustin Hoffman broke new ground with raw, emotional performances in Marathon Man and All the President's Men. A method actor through and through, he helped reshape modern acting. Now in 2025, he's semi-retired but occasionally appears on screen. Hoffman is still celebrated as a master of complex characters and intense storytelling. As Han Solo in Star Wars and then Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford became a household name. Almost 5 decades later, he's still going great in 2025, reenacting legendary roles and demonstrating that his appeal and magnetism have not diminished a bit. Ford is still among the most adored heroes in film. The traditional Bronson was the rough and tough example of propriety during the 1970s Death Wish series. His supported intensity had made him a fixture in revenge thrillers. Bronson continues to be an action hero even after he died in 2003. His stark approach has shaped the foundation of the genre. With famous performances in Jaws and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Dreyfuss was the force governing 1970s Hollywood. Expressive and quick-witted, his presence was an allure too, was unforgettable. He is now more discriminating with his acting parts and occasionally does film commentary and public speaking. Among film aficionados all across the globe, his masterpieces are and will always be well known. Nicholson dominated the 70s with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Chinatown. His erratic energy rendered him unforgettable. Though he has retired, he is among just 2 actors nominated for an Oscar in every decade, spanning the 1960s through the 2000s. A real legend. With macho charm in films like Smokey and the Bandit and Deliverance, Burt Reynolds dominated the box office in the 1970s. Defining Southern swagger was he with his trademark mustache and effortless coolness. Though he departed in 2018, his brave, jovial attitude pervades cinema history and pop culture. As Apollo Creed in Rocky, Carl Weathers punched his way into stardom and became a rapidly legendary player. Beyond boxing, he infused action and science fiction movies with his energy. He made a big comeback in The Mandalorian in recent years. Following his 2024 death, admirers honored a life of power and charm. Stallone's rise began with Rocky in 1976, followed by First Blood as Rambo. These roles defined 70s action cinema. In 2025, he's still in the game, acting, directing, and producing. Stallone remains a force, showing that the heart of a fighter never stops beating. James Caan set fire to every part, especially as Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, tough, furious, and erratic. With a balance of raw force and vulnerability, His 70s performances were electrifying. Though he died in 2022, his reputation as one of Hollywood's best character actors is firmly established. One of the most eerie performances of the decade was given by Christopher Walken in The Deer Hunter. His offbeat energy made him immediately different. Still a scene stealer even now in 2025, Walken appears in dramas, comedies, and streaming series. One of Hollywood's most unusual voices is his unique delivery and fearless roles. With Alien in 1979, Sigourney Weaver defied expectations to present one of film's most resilient heroines. She tore down obstacles for women in action and science fiction. She is still a force decades later, with important parts in the Beyond as well as the Avatar series. Across several generations, Weaver keeps influencing performers and followers. Arnold originally worked in New York's 1970s Hercules, but he became a major star in the 1980s. His voyage started in the 70s, nevertheless. He is a former governor and a climate campaigner, and is still performing in 2025 today. He is more than an action star. Arnold's legacy includes muscle, film, and leadership. In the 70s, Jeff Bridges enthralled viewers with The Last Picture Show and Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. He was a key favorite because of his depth and relaxed demeanor. Today, after surviving cancer, he came back strong with The Old Man. Bridges is still adored for his heart, ability, and, of course, being the dude. Chevy Chase introduced snark and slapstick to the screen in the 1970s, first with SNL and then in films like Foul Play. He was the poster boy for sarcastic humor. Though semi-retired, he is still somewhat famous today because of his contributions to the community and his effect on contemporary humor. As Star Wars Luke Skywalker, Hamill turned immortal in 1977. Though he didn't stop there, he evolved into Batman, the animated series' perfect Joker voice. Hamill, still revered for his work in science fiction and animation, is honored in 2025. With Enter the Dragon and Fist of Fury, Bruce Lee redefined martial arts on screen. His worldwide influence grew even if he died much too young in 1973 at just 32. Still regarded as a cultural icon in 2025, Lee transformed action movies permanently. Donald Sutherland was the thinking man's leading man in MASH and Clue. Cool, clever, and endlessly fascinating. 70s thrillers saw him stand out thanks to his crisp delivery. Though he died in 2024, his portrayals, notably as President Snow in The Hunger Games, secured his position as a legendary character actor. Strong roles in Serpico and Dog Day, Al Pacino developed into one of the most passionate performers of the 70s during the afternoon. Still an active and well-regarded actor in television and movies, he is now in 2025. Pacino's name still attracts interest. His legacy keeps expanding. Audiences in Apocalypse were astounded by Martin Sheen, playing a tortured soldier with terrible intensity right now. His work in the 70s was brave and indelible. Best recognized now as President Bartlett from The West Wing, Sheen is still honored for his acting and activism. He keeps mentoring young artists and speaking on political matters. Although Chuck Norris started his martial arts and movie career in the 1970s, he became world-renowned in the 1980s. Renowned for Missing in Action and the Delta Force, he rose to become a pop culture icon. His name still means grit in 2025. With parts in Foxy Brown and Coffee, Pam Grier reshaped action in the 70s. She was a pioneer for Black women in cinema. Courageous, gorgeous, and unquestionably ferocious. Still acting and advocating in 2025, she is reminding the world that strength and style never go out of fashion. With Clute and Coming Home in the 1970s, Jane Fonda was unrelenting, earning Oscars and sparking a social revolution. She combined elegance with brave action. Decades later, she is still working, most recently on Grace and Frankie, and employing her voice for women's rights and climate change advocacy. Fonda's flame has never died. Hackman wowed viewers in The French Connection and took home an Academy Award for his part as Popeye Doyle. Before retiring in the 2000s, he had a distinguished and illustrious career. Hackman died in February 2025 with one of Hollywood's most admired legacies. Starting his career in TV and movies in the early 1970s, Tommy Lee Jones brought subdued passion and great intelligence to every character. Though his roots run far, he exploded in later years with The Fugitive and Men in Black. He keeps acting in 2025, giving performances with his distinctive toughness and gravitas. With Taxi Driver and The Godfather Part 2, De Niro commanded the 70s and won an Academy Award for the latter. Working as both actor and director, he is still a major force in 2025. Few actors have remained as active and as renowned for as long as De Niro. Though his breakthrough came a bit later, Danny Glover was busy in the late 1970s, establishing the foundation for his legendary role in Lethal Weapon. Glover continues to be active in charity work and movies as a down-to-earth, approachable action hero. He is admired for his stands outside the screen as much as for his on-screen work. Mad Max unveiled Mel Gibson to the world in 1979. He was a fierce, rascal presence that would come to define a generation of action. Though his career exploded in the 1980s and he faced significant scandals, he returned as director and actor to success. Still a polarizing but undeniably gifted force in Hollywood, Gibson remains such in 2025. Redford shone in The Sting and The Way We Were, capturing hearts in the 70s. But he also changed cinema by founding the Sundance Institute in 1980. In 2025, he's largely retired from acting, but his influence on independent film is stronger than ever. These 70s action heroes still have an impact in 2025, from classic legacies to legendary comebacks. Which change surprised you most? Please leave your ideas in the comments. You can also like, share, and subscribe for more information. Then versus, currently instant. Movie fans, catch you in the following one.